Let's see. Go live. How's everybody doing today? I don't know if anybody's here or if anybody's going to be here. It doesn't matter. But what I care about is, just having a couple of people to talk to about what's going on with cryptocurrency. I know, we're not live often, and I want to be live a little bit more. I love coming on here and talking to you guys about different things. So it's always great to have, a group of people that will be here. So let's get this situated first, and then we'll dive into what's going on. Literally just got back from Easter shenanigans. Yeah, Easter shenanigans. So just trying to hop on here for a little bit while the wife is putting the kids to sleep, giving them a bath and putting them to sleep. I got some time, so why not come on here and talk to you guys about what's going on. First, I'd like to rep the Kate Becker's jersey, right? Because I'm always trying to rep WNBA. I'm a big fan of women's basketball, especially having two girls. I want them to eventually, look to playing like at that level or trying to compete to play at that level as best as possible. So, we work on basketball every day and it's something that we can bond over. So it's always great. So I want to, shout out to all the women playing basketball right now. If you have daughters that are playing basketball, or if you are a woman that's playing basketball for either, middle school, high school, college, whatever, right? I applaud you for, doing some work in order to kind of grow that game, not just grow the game of basketball, but grow the game of basketball for women's sports. So hopefully that can be a big deal. But happy Easter to everybody that's here. Hopefully, we can see some big things that are happening with, many of the cryptocurrencies that we own, that we love, that we love to hold. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that spiel. Also, if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, which will be down in the description, it'll also be in the chat. Feel free to do so. I'll post that in the chat right now, so everybody can see that there, and then we'll pin it. And I do want to pin a poll asking, did you hit the like? Let me put that in capital. All right, there we go. All right, anyways, thank you guys for watching. We got 67 people that are here. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff, and help out the channel grow. Happy Easter, Kevin. Have faith in XRP. I have a lot of faith in XRP. I believe it's going a lot further. Hope the Tims beat the Lakers in 5. Honestly, I do too. I do want to see kind of maybe one last battle between Steph Curry and and LeBron James. I would love to see that, because if both of them win, they're facing each other the next round. So that would always be great. One last battle before everything is all said and done, because you have two of the greats that are going to be playing against each other, potentially playing against each other for the last time, with LeBron, being in his 40s, and, Steph Curry still having years to come and maybe could still be great as well. But still, they're getting up there in age, and who you have left? You have a newer generation that's coming up and has to now establish themselves and all that. The Lucas of the world, and AD getting injured again is not a great situation. So, you have all these young guys that are coming up that can now establish themselves in bigger and better ways, which is always great. But yeah, I'm a Bulls fan, and the Bulls didn't make the playoffs. Even though they had a chance, they just kind of fumbled at the end. Even though they were putting up some big numbers at the end of the year, they were collapsing. They collapsed in the actual play-in. But I want to see Steph Curry win another championship before it's all said and done. I feel like he's that person that has led, especially in the last or I guess decade plus, because he hasn't been in for multiple decades. But him and LeBron and that's pretty much it. Who's had their fair share of championships, like. So, anyways, I want to see Steph Curry win another one. which they play at 9, so I'm probably going to watch that. Good afternoon, boss man. Much love. Keep up the content. Thank you for saying so. Hey, Matt, happy Easter. Are we still bullish on CRO? So I'll tell you, I'm still bullish on CRO, but it's to an extent, right? I think there has been a lot that's been messed up, and while the community was very bullish and very for it, now you have this extra 70 billion coins where it feels like they were for us, seeing the burns, and then all of a sudden now it just is turned, and it's not. You're not for decreasing that supply. You're more for increasing, the value that's in your pocket to then fund whatever you have coming forward, which sucks that you can get that passed by any means necessary, because people like us, we will vote against that 10 times out of 10, right? But you still have ways of getting that passed, which does suck. But with all the things that they are implementing and understanding how big CRO means in the cryptocurrency world, I still believe that CRO is going to have bullish momentum this altcoin season, and still will have some life as you're moving along, and still will have major success in the long term. It's just now, how do you believe that any burns that are associated with it are true burns? Right? We get excited about any burns that are happening because we're like, it's never coming back. But now it's showing that CRO can make that comeback at any time that they want to. And that's something that doesn't make me feel good. So to answer your question short, yes, I am still bullish on it, but it is more short term than anything. Awesome, great, good, and you? I'm doing pretty good. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Thank you for watching. Happy Easter. I have faith in XRP. How's the like button? Good afternoon. Let's see. What's up, Matt? What's going on? Multimedia Marcus. Is this the weekly moon? I mean, I hope so. I haven't had many updates on XRP as of late. I mean, I've been focusing a lot on family right now, and I want to get more information. So anything that you guys have heard before I decide to dive in and we decide to go into more and more detail, let me know if you guys have any other information that we should research, we should talk about on the channel right now, while we're in this live stream, because that's what this is all about. Happy Easter. Do you think it is the right time to invest in XRP, or will it drop back down to $1.60? I'll have to be honest, I don't know if it will truly drop back down to $1.60. However, I've said that, right? And we've seen the overall market fall back down. We've seen the reaction from what, President Trump has done with the tariffs, and everything has fallen down. So anything could happen, and anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett would say, right? Anything is possible. But when I look at XRP and I look at a good time to invest, if you believe in it above $2.08, it's not a bad time to buy an XRP right now. If you believe in it above, $1.70 or even $2.30, right? It's not a bad time to buy XRP. Now, I have it on an average of $1.22, which was my average of 50 cents, but I decided to buy more and average up on the play. Just because I wanted to have more before I, called it quits on buying anymore. So I believe in it above this point. I believe in it above $3. I believe in it above $5. I still hold all of my XRP. So if you still believe in it above this point, I know you probably want to gather more, but it's not a bad opportunity to buy XRP at these levels, because it has so much upside above 3, above 4, above 5, above 10, $20. So even more than that. So to answer your question, I do think it's a good time to buy XRP. Do I think it's the best time? No. Right? We've seen lower prices, but you can still see major positivity out of it. From this level, it's just you won't get as much XRP if you decide to buy at $1.60, if that makes sense. Hi, Matt. Curry got 3 good years left in him. He's the GOAT. I honestly think he's, in my opinion, I think he's definitely in the top 10, right? I understand how you want to put a lot of the older generation in there, but you have to have like sections, in my opinion, right? Because the only ones you can have crossover on are the ones that are actually at the top and make a difference that are there, right? I think he's the GOAT point guard. And some people might say he's a shooting guard, but I feel like he makes his entire team better, and he does have a level of assists that show that he is a modern day point guard, which is a scorer as well as a facilitator, right? So I would say Curry is the GOAT point guard, but MJ is still my GOAT overall. And I honestly, if I had to make a list, which some people might get upset with, I don't know if anybody's listening that's a huge basketball fan. If I had to make my list on who the top five is, because Curry wouldn't be in that top five, he would be right there. Um, but I would have to go MJ. I would have to go Kobe. Then I would go LeBron. And then um, honestly, I can't put. I let's just go top three because it's so difficult once you get beyond there because you start to get into like the older generation versus like the newer generation that has changed the game. If you've changed the game, that's where I consider you kind of a whole nother level when it comes to basketball, right? And if you've done it on the same team, making people come to you, that's a whole nother topic as well. So we could talk about that at a later date if you want to get into conversations about who's the GOAT and who's not. We can always do that, but this video is more about XRP, so and more about cryptocurrency in general and where it stands. So we'll have to talk about that at another time. But it's good. I love talking about basketball. I do. And I've played football all my life. It's just basketball is I don't know. It's just the best. It's great. Bulls next year. Great Aussie. Hope it giddy up. I mean, yes and no. I mean, you need to have consistency, right? I feel like Giddy is great, and we're still talking about basketball. I feel like Giddy is a good player, um, but you need to be surrounded by great players as well, and you also need to make those players better. I feel like Kobe White has been fantastic, especially the last, let's say, 10 games of the season. He's been absolutely out of his mind. Um, but they could be so much better. They're one big piece away from actually being really good. I feel like they have the surrounding cast that can shoot threes, that can compete today in today's world, scoring 130 points in some games. They just need one person there. So Jordan is better than James. I agree, right? Do you think the 14th is massive for XRP? I don't know. What's happening on the 14th? Because again, I'm not very removed, but I am removed on what's going on right now. So if you can just clear some things up, because if something's happening that's significant, that you said July 14th, is it massive? I would think we have important dates before that, but again, I don't know what's going on that date. Slipping my mind right now. If it's super important. It feels good in the UK as it's only $1.58 sterling for XRP. I agree. How does the sentiment impact XRP's price movement compared to other cryptos? Well, right now I feel like we don't have anything that impacts one crypto over another, if that makes sense. When it comes to actually seeing things start to split up and have a separate impact, I don't know if that will happen directly after this altcoin season as we get into the next bear market, as we have consolidated ETFs or all encompassing ETFs as well as individual ETFs and more individual support for certain things that do different things. Right now, if Bitcoin moves, it seems like everything else moves the same way, right? If Bitcoin is rising, everything else will rise. If Bitcoin is falling, everything else will fall. If the market reacts in a negative way, it seems as though crypto is now following businesses rather than being an inverse activity towards businesses. So it's all basically one reaction, unless you have like a meme coin or something that has some sort of major impact to it. Like I mean, major impact to it. If it comes out and XRP is like governments are buying it left and right in order to use it as their reserve currency and fund banks and all that stuff with it, then that's a whole different story, right? XRP would go through the absolute roof. But if you have it kind of interchangeable to where Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, a lot of other larger utility coins are also being used or held, it's not going to have a major movement just to XRP because of that, right? Hopefully that sort of answered the questions. I feel like it didn't fully, but yeah. How many coins do you own? Like total coins of XRP or total like coins, like different cryptocurrencies? Let's be specific there. It's SO22 in July. Um, hmm. What are exits? My exit plans. My exit plan is to in certain plays it's different. I try and create an exit plan so that I profit, or I take my initial investment, I profit, and then I can gather more profit as time goes on, while also being included in what the long term plan for that position is. London, Ontario. Great show, Matt. Love the live shows. Thank you for saying that, Mike Hayes. I appreciate it. Let's be specific there. Let's be specific there. You in a bad mood, bro? Am I in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood. I'm in a good mood. I'm hardly in a bad mood. Like I rarely am in a bad mood. I love life. You know, the fact that I get up every day and live life and be able to see my children grow and talk to them, have conversations with them, whether they're in the best mood possible or the worst mood possible, I still love getting up and being able to teach them what I know and being able to teach them about life. I know they're not going to get all of it, but they will get some of it, and it's always great to see, right? It's always great to feel as well. Like so, I'm in a great mood. Don't think that I'm in a bad one. The way you replied to the comment earlier, no, I hope I didn't reply in a horrible way. I apologize if I did. But yeah, I'm good. What are your? If I said something that seemed a little bit rude, uh, I don't know. I'm not trying to be. What are your average cost per coin? For XRP, it's $1.22. For Jasmine Coin, it's 40 cents. For CRO, it's 12 cents. Actually, let me go through and let me just show you. So I have a lot that are down actually in total gain or loss. I have a lot that are down. So like for XRP, it says my average is $1. That's not right. It's $1.22. For Kronos, my average is 12.2 cents and it's currently at an 8 cent price. Yearn Finance is 6,200. It's currently at 4,700. Jasmine Coin is 40% of a penny. And Jasmine is currently sitting at 1.4 cents, which is up a good 262%, which is always great. Litecoin, my average is $75, currently at $78. Cosmos, it's $4.65, currently at $4.15. Solana is $112, it's at $138. So I have many different cryptocurrencies that are at various prices. Some of my largest losses, CRO is my largest loss right now. That's not technically a loss because I still hold it, but I'm down about 32% on that play. XRP is my largest gain, which I'm up 107%, but the amount is where that's at. I would say my largest gain percentage is Terra Luna Classic, which is a very large percentage. Let me see actually where it is. 7,534% is what it says here, just on the ones that I'm holding. But also it doesn't factor in the amount that I have in gains, which is $4,800. So it should be a lot higher percentage than that. But yeah, I mean, it varies from position to position. What's up, Matt? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, Sammy. Thoughts on Algo? I haven't heard much on it lately anyway. Anywhere. I haven't talked about Algo either a lot. I have a little bit of it over in my Kraken wallet, but it's currently sitting at a 1.6 billion market cap with $45 million worth of volume, up 16%. The volume to market cap ratio is low, but know that the overall market cap to volume ratio for the entire crypto market is absolutely low. We're not seeing a lot of volume in general. You are seeing a total of 10 billion coins. I believe this can get to a $10 billion market cap very easily. We're going to see a lot more than that for algo as we see the altcoin season. If we look at the all-time high is $3.28, which was on 2019. I believe there was less supply that was there then, but the high for the last year has been 60 cents, while current price is at about 19 cents. So you have a decent amount. Even getting back up to that high, you're looking at a it can literally triple in value in what you have there, which is always great to see. But I like algo, right? I did like it a lot more in the past. Things change as you're staking it, and as you get some more information, things change because things happen with these cryptocurrencies. But I still like Algorand, right? I still have a decent amount of it over in my Kraken portfolio, and I would consistently get more, especially at these prices, knowing where the peak is and knowing that there's even room above that. So yeah, I like it. I haven't heard much on it or many people talk about it. If we look at all history, again, you could see these higher prices of $3.15 back in 2019. But if you look at the market cap, you're looking at a higher market cap here of $12 billion. And that was at a $1 or $2 price point, which you had less supply, would be somewhere around a 6 billion coin supply versus the 8 billion coin supply that you have now, almost 9 billion coin supply. So when you look at that, while you've seen these high prices, you're seeing a $4 billion market cap, which is basically half, that level to about $10 billion. So either way, I still like it. I still hold some, and I'm in it for more of the long term rather than the short term that's there. So let's see. No, he's just saying you got to be a little more specific. Yeah, that's all I was saying. What are your happy Easter to you? Happy Easter to you as well. What's your thoughts on Anchor Coin? I like Anchor. I have a good amount of Anchor as well. I would go. Let me shrink my screen really quick and then go to Coinbase. I think I have Anchor over here, and I would have to sign in. Won't already be signed in. Find a way to easily sign me in without having to. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so I can go to Anchor. I feel like I have a decent amount of Anchor. I could buy more, especially where it stands at like 2 cents. I feel like it's not a no-brainer, but it definitely shows that I can get a little bit more value from it. So currently Anchor stands at about 2 cents. I have $1,479 worth of Anchor. I am down by about $400 or $500. I have 80,000 Anchor, and I fully believe with everything that this has shown with all the stuff there. So let me go back here and let me go to my watch list. I think I have Anchor on there just so I can bring it up. I believe that this is going to be worth a lot more than where it stands. Again, this has a 10 billion coin supply. I can see this hitting those levels, if not a lot further, giving it a multiple dollar price point from this 1 to 2 cent level. So, and it's currently sitting in the second or third. Yeah. So the first 100, yeah, it's in the second page, which a lot of people tend to ignore those second pages until they start to get to the first page. So I see a lot of volume happening for this, especially being on Coinbase and S-tier exchanges. Volume to market cap ratio at 15%, which shows the level of popularity that you want to see, even while you're seeing a market that's down and not seeing as much volume. So that's always good. But yeah, I like Anchor. I have 80,000 coins of Anchor, 79.2 to be specific. But I would probably get more just because I feel like it does have some decent potential in it. Thoughts on XDC? I'm not the biggest fan of XDC. I can't say I'm not the biggest fan of it. I just don't have it, right? So I typically talk about a lot of the things that I own, And the reason why I don't have it, there's no type of major rhyme or reason to why I don't have it. I just feel like all those coins kind of move together, like in XRP, XDC, XLM, all really move together. And what I've seen is that XRP is the largest one, and then you see XLM that may be the second largest, and XDC be the third largest, and it all moves by about a factor of 10, right? If XRP is at a $100 billion market cap, XLM is at a $10 billion market cap, while XDC is at a $1 billion market cap, right? So it's like a factor of 10 um, between all of them. And that's just a commonality that I've seen. And I think it has broken that recently, but um, I just don't own XLM or XDC. There's no huge rhyme or reason. Many people own all of them. My average on XRP is 77 cents. That's amazing. That means that you're up. That means that you're doing great. I know you probably want to own more or wanted to own more. I just don't know how much you have. So, Eric, how much do you have in XRP? 514th XRP is ISO 20022 implementation for Fedwire Fund service. Interesting. I haven't dealt with that or have heard anything about that, which is crazy, I guess. I'm in the UK, so it's great to get your perspective on all things USA side um, on XRP. It's great to hear. I'm glad that I give you some sort of information. There are probably a lot of other people that are getting to the news faster than me. There's a lot of people on here that don't have families, a wife or children, and there are some people that do. And if they're able to get to these things, then fantastic. I love to spend time with the children and make sure that they do the best they can in everything that they're doing. So I'd rather spend time doing that, but I do want to update everybody and continue to talk to you guys about many things. I'm a noob. What coins should I buy? I bought 1,800 XRP coins so far. So there's a lot of opportunities. XRP has risen quite a bit. So if we go back to everything in the market and we understand what really has an opportunity in front of us, Bitcoin has run so much. I'm not saying that it's over, and I'm not saying you can't get value from it, but trying to buy one Bitcoin is really trying to take everything that you could possibly put into crypto and put it into one cryptocurrency. And that's literally putting all of your eggs in one basket. No matter how safe many believe that basket to be, no matter how much people think that basket is going to run or be worth, it still doesn't make sense to put all of your eggs into one basket. Does that make sense? Now, if you go down the list just literally one, you can understand that Ethereum is at a fantastic price right now. $1,597 I feel like is a steal for Ethereum. And I would love to be able to buy more and hold more. If I can hold 10, that would be fantastic. But right now I believe I only hold 7. 5 that's sitting in my forever wallet that I'm never going to touch, and 2 that I plan on doing something with as we see more of the short-term gains and some of the longer-term gains there. XRP, not at a bad price, but XRP has run a little bit compared to a lot of other things, going from a 50-cent price all the way up to a $2 price where it is right now, or all the way up higher to a $3.40 price. But currently it is 4 times what that price was where you could have started before XRP ran. So let's go down that list a little bit more. Solana is up a little more, but it's not up to its max level that it was at. I believe this is going to $1,000+, so that's not a bad opportunity. I think if we were looking at the top 10, I would probably say the opportunities that I look at as bigger opportunities are Cardano and Ethereum as some of those bigger opportunities within the top 10. Now, if you scroll down here, you can probably look at some meme coins and say, yes, Shiba Inu has a little bit of an opportunity at $7.3 billion market cap. But again, that is a meme coin, not really a something that you can jump on or feel great about when it comes to the utility side. Litecoin, I think that's a steal price at $78. My cost basis is a little bit lower than that, I believe, or a little bit higher. But either way, I believe in it way above this point. I believe in this to go hundreds, if not $1,000+ per coin. So that's something that I will continuously look at, continuously hold. But this is a good buy as well. So right now in my breakdown, Also, Avalanche is a good play. I would say in my breakdown, I would look at XRP, I would look at Cardano, I would look at Avalanche, I would look at Litecoin as some major plays that can give you a little bit of consistency, especially since you're a noob or new into crypto. There's a lot of opportunity for meme coins and all of that stuff, but you can see the consistency in a lot of the ones that I just named. And same thing goes for some other things that are on the top 100. I think you need to look into here, see what interests you, see where the all-time highs were, and also factor in the overall supply. Right? If they can continue to add to this supply, it's not a good thing, right? It's going to dilute what you hold. So that's something that I'll say. Any of the ones that I named are not bad plays. You must have bought Classic right after it crashed a few years back. So yes, I bought at the lowest price possibly recorded. And honestly, it was by accident. I didn't buy my Terra Luna Classic at 6 zeros because I saw it at 6 zeros. I want to be honest, I saw it at 5 zeros. And for me, it seemed like the lowest price you could buy it. I went to go purchase it. MetaMask told me that I was going to get 63 million of it. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. I should get like 6 million, right? Because I thought that, as I did the math, it told me, or what I told myself, I was going to get about 6 million. That would be great. And then when it goes back up to these high prices, I'll be able to, see so much more growth, right? I'll be able to see percentage growth will be crazy. Daisy, get out of here. Stop. No. Daisy, go somewhere. I know you're hungry, aren't you? I'll get you some food. Just give me a second. Stop. Stop me out. It's being loud. Super loud. But yeah, I bought at a very, very low level, and it was by accident. So I went on MetaMask. I had $43 left to spend, and I spent that $43 to get me 63 or 60 something million coins. And I was like, yeah. So then I got that, and I wanted to buy more, but my bank wouldn't let me buy. Wouldn't let me buy any more cryptocurrency. Right? I was supposed to convert it from to get BNB, because it was on the Binance side, the BSC side, rather than the Ethereum side, or buying it anywhere else on any other platform. And they wouldn't approve that because my bank kept flagging it. And I was very upset. I was going to buy $300 to $500 worth. And if I would have bought another $500 worth, right, I would have been able to make, instead of potentially $30,000 during that run that we saw, it could have been $300,000 if I would have done that. So I was a little pissed, I was very upset, but I did end up making $4,800 of profit from it and still hold 55 million coins. So I'm not like ridiculously upset, but it did cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars because they wouldn't let me buy Terra Luna Classic. It was only $500 that I wanted to put in there. It wasn't like a 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever. It was only 500 that could have potentially turned into $300,000 during what we already saw, which wasn't a massive move, but it's just a risk that I was willing to take. Don't worry, this is a perfectly balanced still water. So that's what I got here. We're trying out different waters just to see if there's any difference. And I mean, you do taste the difference. I can definitely taste it, but I don't know if it's worth the price difference. I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's true. I did buy it very low. I bought most of my XRP for 40 cents. I've got 23,000 tokens so far. I'm still buying. That's amazing, Mike Hayes. That's absolutely fantastic that you have that much. What are your thoughts on XRP 4 to 5 times in a few months? Like 4 to 5 times the current price? So seeing this at a 5 times this price, which would be a $10 price point in a few months. I won't say that it won't happen, right? Because we never know what's going to happen truly in crypto and when the altcoin season is going to happen. Honestly, it should have already happened. But if we do see all these things get implemented, whether we're talking about ETFs go live. We're talking about all-encompassing ETFs. We're talking about use of XRP in banks, in government, in businesses. Then we could potentially see that 4 to 5 times increase for XRP in the next, few months, maybe 6 months or so, right? Towards the end of the year. And I think 2025 to 2026 is going to be very bullish years. I guess if we look at a full year, it's going to be a very bullish year. To where we have this happen, not just for Bitcoin, but for many other things that are there. So seeing the FOMO into crypto and people wondering what's the big deal with crypto? What's the thing that I should buy, that I should own in crypto? Because that's the question that I get the most whenever someone hears that I have a YouTube channel where I talk about cryptocurrency or I talk about investing. They always ask me, what should I get my money into, or what should I put my money into? And my answer is always the same to them, is that, they should take their money and, one, do their own research, but I will suggest that they go the safer route if they don't already have that, right? If they have a 401k and a retirement plan and everything there, if they don't have it, then I feel like they should go that route just to secure themselves something that's more of a consistent growth, and then take, maybe 5 or 10% of what you're looking to put away and put it into something that may be a little bit more speculative, because that's where a lot of the money is made, right? If you look at millionaires and even billionaires, they put their money into something that a lot of people told them wouldn't be big, right? They were like, oh, I'm going to run this company where I sell books online or whatever, right? That's what Amazon was. And nobody wants to put money into that. They're like, where's the value in that? But they took a risk, right? And many other investors that wanted to invest into it took a risk, and it all paid off because now they're worth a ridiculous amount of money. Same thing goes for Tesla, same thing goes for Facebook, same thing goes for many others, the internet in general. And this is what that is. While people question whether cryptocurrency is going to be worth a lot, whether you're going to be able to make money from it, whether you're going to be able to do anything big in this space, you can keep questioning it, but I suggest that you at least take a little bit of a leap to be a part of it, because you never know what crypto is going to be, right? If you were a person to question it in the past, when Bitcoin was at $1,000, $2,000, and then jumped to 20,000, back down to 2,000, and you were there to question it, to go, you know what? Their time is over. It's never going to be worth anything more than that. And now it's worth $84,000 per coin. You could have bought 10 for literally a fraction of the cost of what it is now, right? You could have bought 10 of it and decided to, let's say it was at $1,000 or $2,000. You could have bought 10 Bitcoin, and now you would be at $840,000 if you decided to do that. Right? Same thing goes for many other cryptocurrencies that you could have owned. Ethereum was in the single digits. And we're talking about this rose to 5,000-ish or close to dollars, right? You could have had so much if you decided to hold on to and believe in the speculative market. And it's not even over. The market is still only worth $3 trillion? The market is still only worth $2.69 trillion. This market will be worth, it'll be worth 10 times, maybe even 20 times where we see it here today, right? So looking at this and going, oh, this is going to be worth a 20 or 40 billion dollar market cap, trillion dollar market cap. I can see it, right? You can see that people are going to be able to use this and be able to store it and be able to see the assets and hold value in those. So I'm excited for what the future is going to bring. And if you don't believe that that's going to be the case, and you want to believe whatever you're going to believe, it's not going to change my mindset of it. And I think that's where you see a difference, right? People that believe in these speculative markets, that truly is going to be worth a lot more and is being told right in front of your face, that the government is now paying attention heavily to it, that big cryptocurrency projects are partnering with banks, are partnering with businesses. Of course, you can say that this is going to be worth a lot more. But you can also argue the opposite and say it's not going to be. But it's not going to change my mindset, I'll tell you that. CRO to $2 to $5 question mark. I mean, it could happen. I think $3 is still doable for this altcoin season. I don't want to see a lot of that supply introduced this altcoin season, but we are going to see some. Um, so, I mean, take it for whatever it's worth, but I do have an altered exit plan. I've buying XRP since 2018, but didn't have a ton of money until recently. That's why my average went from 35 cents to 77 cents. Either way, 77 cents is still fantastic. Feed the cat. I do have to feed the cat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Why are you upset? You just want to love? I think this cat just wanted love. I don't think she wanted food. I think she wanted love. Um, which, if that's the case, Daisy, Daisy, my cat does that too when I'm playing. Yeah, you know I haven't played Halo Infinite. I used to play Halo all the time in my Xbox 360 days. I still love Xbox, um, but I haven't played Halo Infinite. What is the what is that ornament behind you that never stops? Because I want one. So this is called spinning sticks. I have this in my Amazon store. Let me go to my channel. I'll go to one of my pages or something. One of my last videos. No, don't say what's up, you guys. All right, so I'll go to my Amazon store. I think it's in my description or not. This is my merch. Oh yeah, my Amazon store is all the way at the bottom or close to the bottom. So it says my Amazon store. If you click into it, let me show you guys. Give me a second. So this is one of my last videos, the last video that I created, talking about XRP and getting to $100,000 per coin. Obviously, that's going through the article and talking about that. But my Amazon store, if you go down to the description and you click Amazon store, you'll get a list of a lot of things. It's right here, right? All YouTube studio equipment. It's called Spinning Sticks. I don't think it's the cheapest thing in the world. Holy cow, that's not the right one. This is the original one, so it doesn't take any batteries, which I should get. It would be cool to have. This is the one that I have here, which is the desktop version. But why did I say desktop version? All of them go on the desk. But this is the one that takes batteries. So it never stops moving, but you have to have batteries in it. This other one that's over here, this one you do not have to have batteries and it just continuously moves, right? It's the one it moves based on weight. Once you start moving it, it doesn't stop moving, which I should probably get because eventually I'm going to waste a lot of money on batteries. But yeah, this has all my studio equipment. It also has other things like credit card storage stuff and all that other type of stuff. So feel free to check out my Amazon store if you want to use my link. It does help out the channel in a big way. But I should think about getting this one. So I believe this is the one that's the full size version. You can get it in different colors. Oh, you can get it in the wood. I like that there, but it's still $339. Like that's expensive. But again, this is the one that's sculpture seemingly defies gravity as a double pendulum creates a fluid, relaxing rotation designed to change speeds and direction for no apparent reason. This high quality museum style motion sculpture gives the illusion of perpetual motion designed to baffle and amaze the onlookers. So, oh, this one's powered as well. How it works: powered by four AA batteries, including aluminum sticks revolving. So this is not the. I'm gonna take this one off of there. I thought this was the real one that should give. Yeah, that's not good at all. No one wants to pay $339 for one that is also not the real device. Yeah, I should have seen that. Because that looks just like the one that I have now. Except you can do different ones. Anyways, go for the one that's $99. Like, don't go for the one, or $98. Don't go for the one that's $339. I thought that was the real one. I gotta take that off. Let me see if I can edit it. Yeah, let me see if I can edit it. I could take that off. Because no one wants to get something that's not the real one. But they do have the real one. If you search for it on YouTube or you search for it on Google, you'll be able to find it. I just took it off. So now if I go back and refresh, it should be off. Yeah, there we go. So now it's just the $98 one. So go ahead and check it out if you want it. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it is cool to be able to have and just look at. Sometimes if I do look at my screen, like my recording screen, I find myself looking at it all the time and just staring at it. Like, it calms my mind a little bit. So I think it's cool. But anyways, um, you live in Cal. You need good water. I don't live in California. I live in Pennsylvania. What is that? I read that. I've lost faith in SHIB. Mine is 25% down. Not bothered, as I've got 1.2 million. So I think for SHIB, it definitely, a lot of things that happen rub me the wrong way, and I think that's what you deal with investing, especially in a speculative market. The only reason it rubbed me the wrong way is not because of the community. The community is a major part of why SHIB had success and still will have success. I think it still will be worth a lot. It's just whether it will get to a level of $1 or not, right? We all know that it's fully capable of getting to $1 if we can see the burns that are implemented. But everything that has been developed, we've never seen anything implement a burn. And when we did, it was doing too much in burning SHIB because people wanted to support it, and it was taking away from the success of the things that they created. So they stopped doing that. The ecosystem dev team killed SHIB in the largest way because they wanted to take control of it, and they wanted to harness all the powers and everything of Shiba Inu. And it's just, you couldn't do that, right? Not one person has power over Shiba Inu, but they did dictate kind of where the community wanted to go, and saying that, anybody that's creating for SHIB is not for SHIB, and we're the creators of SHIB, and all of this other stuff, trying to lie to our faces, and then go and say anybody can create for SHIB. We create around SHIB, and we're not the actual owners of Shiba Inu, right? We don't control what Shiba Inu does. And while that is true, why would you decide to push your narrative and say, oh, somebody is selling coffee and burning SHIB with the proceeds and with the profits and all that stuff, with majority or some of the profits? How can you say that that's not a good thing? That you're not going to believe in what they're doing when they're officially burning SHIB and you have never burned a single cent of SHIB, right? That's what I never understood, and people continued to follow them, and I continued to call them out, so they decided to block me from everything in their Discord because they didn't want me to say, oh, they're not burning SHIB. They decided to block me from their X spaces, right? They decided to block me from many different things because they didn't want me to tell the truth, which is the fact that they don't give, for lack of a better term, a rat's ass about SHIB. They don't. They only care about the value that they can gain from it. The, offering NFTs so that people can spend money and pay for these things. Offer SHIB metaverse plots of land when you know you're not going to do anything with the metaverse, right? You're just selling these plots of land for like thousands of dollars, and you're not going to do anything with it because you just want extra money, right? That's how that went. And because of greed, that's why we didn't see enough SHIB burn off. And it sucks. It really does. Guys, we have 117 people here. We have 117 likes. I appreciate you all for hitting the like button. I understand that there's many of you that probably haven't hit the like button because it's not 117 that has been here the whole time. It's people that are coming in and out. We have about 1,000 views. So I would appreciate it if you did hit the like button. If you do have a chance to do so, it does help out with growth and all that stuff. So my OM is the next Terra Luna. I don't know. I read that. If you don't get my $4 XRP, $4 XRP by May 24th, I have to go. If you don't get my $4 XRP by May 24th, I have to go back to work for the summer. I don't want to go to work in the Hamptons anymore. Guess I'll have to buy more crypto this summer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly where these levels are going to be at 100%. I'm not going to lie to you to say that they're going to be there. I just, try and give out whatever predictions I believe it's going to be at for the future, for the distant future, rather than like, hey, it's going to be there tomorrow or the next month. But definitely take value in work. I wouldn't say that you quit whatever job that you have, because I want you guys to be able to build up enough money to not only, have that just financial freedom, but also want to gain a little bit extra so that you can put more money aside, right? I don't want to sit here and be like, have $100 million. If I do have $100 million, fantastic. But if I can take $1 million or $2 million and put it into a dividend account and find a way to live off of that, it now frees up everything else that I can gain to put into speculative markets or other investments that I want. Because now I'm living off of these dividends. Or I could take these dividend funds and be able to decide to put them elsewhere. I would rather just reinvest those dividends. So I would love to be able to either take that and use it for bills, or reinvest it and then have everything else that I'm making out here as something that I know I can try and fund something else and do something else. Because now, no matter what risk I end up taking, I always have this fallback, right? That's what I want to be able to build. But you should still have the desire of the work, right? Because retiring in your 20s, retiring in your 30s should be something completely different, right? Retire in your 20s and 30s, but still work to bigger and better things, right? I never want to truly retire. If people say that they do want to retire and never work again, like they hate what they do, or they strongly dislike what they do. You may have picked the wrong career, or now you're just doing it because you need to make a living. But when you actually have that financial freedom means that you get the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whatever your heart desires. But it doesn't mean that you stop working, right? Then it feels like your life doesn't have value at that moment, right? Now you're just putting that money aside, and the only value that you have is not within your life, it's just within whatever's in that account. You need to provide value every single day that you wake up, and you should strive to do that. No matter what your financial situation is, no matter if you have $5 million or $5, you should have the drive and focus to do something more. Does that make sense? And maybe it's not to work in the Hamptons, right? Maybe some people don't want to do that at all, but maybe you have a dream to do something completely different, and you've never had the freedom to explore that because you need to do this on the side to make money, or you need to do this normally to make money. And I understand that. Let me skip some stuff. My buddy, his sister is an accountant for big money people. She told me if you put 1.3 million in an account with her, they earn 6,400 a month. That's what I mean, right? My math, and depending on what you're investing into and the things that I'm investing into in my dividend account, I can earn an average with about $900,000 I could earn $3,000 a month from that, right? That's 900,000. That is a lot of money, but if you could find a way to work up to that point and even have compounding interest and compounding dividends that go flow back into it to get you up to that point, you could then be able to capture $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per month in dividends. Now you are going to have to pay taxes on it, so you have to do the math on that to say what you're being paid, what you're gaining, all that stuff. If you're taking profit, which you're not going to take profit in any of that, you're just going to take your dividends and maybe reinvest it, or you can take those dividends and just pay off bills. But if it's $3,000 a month, you know that half of that is probably going to go to taxes. So $1,500 a month, which is still fantastic. You can pay off some of your bigger stuff. So as you see more, maybe $2 million or so, which again is a lot, but you could have about $6,000 per month in dividend payouts, plus the amount that you're gaining in the actual money or actual positions that you have. So if it grows by, let's say, 10%, and you have $2 million is in there, throughout that year, it grew $200,000 plus the extra dividends that you're being paid per month, which could be $6,000 per month multiplied by 12. You're obviously seeing a lot of money that you can get, plus the $200,000 that you can get in the overall gains of the actual position, right? So, and then if you want to just keep $2 million in there the whole entire time, take whatever the gains are, $200,000, whatever that is, take whatever those gains are, remove those, and then also take what you're being paid out in dividends, remove that, and you now have a substantial amount of money that you could put towards whatever you want. And that's just from your investing portfolio. People don't understand that you can live off of the money that you have in these accounts, right? So it's just phenomenal to do that. I understand we haven't even jumped into what's going on in crypto. We'll have to do that maybe in the morning. F taxes. I hear you, but you got to pay taxes. I'm going to have a tax penalty this year of like $4,000 or $5,000 because I decided to pay my taxes at the end of the year rather than quarterly for my business, which freaking sucks. Mike, XRP doesn't have any utility. Stop listening to the BS. It's the same coin as every other coin. It's about the hype that does. So that's not true. I understand about this, about people believing that other coins have, like, it's all about just the hype. It's all about the attention, the FOMO into cryptocurrency. While the overall market does depend on hype, FOMO, and depends on mentions and things that are in the news, XRP does have a lot more utility than anything else. And we're talking about standard cryptocurrency utility. When we think about utilizing a digital cryptocurrency or a digital currency, it's all about using it every single day. Now, as of right now, we don't have many ways to do that. To say, I want to take this XRP and go and buy this bike with it, right? You can do it on, some of these apps like, Facebook Marketplace or something. Anybody that's willing to take crypto or give crypto or something, you can do that. But as we move along, we'll see more payment options that allow you to be able to utilize XRP. We'll see more banks that are willing to accept XRP, businesses that are willing to accept XRP, and even governments that are now looking to have interchangeable XRP as, import and export revenue, right? I feel like you don't understand all of that's coming. Now, again, this is all speculative and hasn't happened yet, but we know that these things are going to happen. Don't be shocked when XRP doesn't run past $3.50 to $4 before the bear market. So I would be shocked. If we don't see an altcoin season at all, then I wouldn't be shocked, right? But we are going to see an altcoin season. In my opinion, this is what I see. But again, no one can 100% predict where these cryptocurrency markets or where these speculative markets are going. So you're not wrong, but you're also not right. And there's a lot of, I guess, I wouldn't say disbelief, but there's a lot of unknowns that are there. And I think you realize that there are unknowns as well. XRP will not crash if Ethereum runs. Ethereum is old technology that is expensive. You're going to be disappointed. SHIB, which I have, is going nowhere. In 2017, XRP's price was $2.32. It's below that price 8 years later, just saying. You understand that it's at a higher market cap than it's ever been. You're looking at the wrong detail there. You're not only supposed to look at the price, you're also supposed to understand why it's at these prices and why it's worth a lot more than it is worth a lot more now than it was back then. You understand that those higher prices that it got to had less supply, less capability, as you saw in cryptocurrency overall, and less of an impact there. But now you have more of that impact. But it's been about an hour. I wanted to talk to you guys about cryptocurrency. I would love to get back here and we'll have some more conversations, more live streams. But at this point, I think the Warriors play at 9 o'clock. So I want to jump back on here or I want to jump back over there and watch, the Warriors play before everything's all said and done. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that, check out some of the links down below for Twitter, for Patreon. Also, you can check out my link for BTCC in the comment section, in the description, in the chat, all that stuff. But I'll try and catch you tomorrow and do a live stream at some point. Harper is home with me because of Easter break. Is it Easter or spring break? One of the two. Both, I guess. But yeah, make sure you... if I am live, come back here, have a chat with me. I am going to post some videos tomorrow as well. But I'm going to get out of